You ever see someone light a fire, walk away, then act shocked when the entire house burns down? Yeah. That's Rachel Zegler right now. Disney's Snow White remake was already dangling by a thread-leaking controversy from every angle. But then South Park showed up like a wrecking ball wearing a flamethrower and sent the whole thing crashing into oblivion. With one savage special, they didn't just roast the film, they scorched the entire Disney empire. And the wildest part, they did it while barely blinking, like it was just another Tuesday. While Rachel Zegler was out doing PR damage control, South Park lit the match, walked off whistling, and left Disney scrambling like an intern who hit reply all on an internal email about layoffs. But this story isn't just about some memes and mockery. It's a full-blown Hollywood disaster unfolding in real time. And South Park just decided to double down. So how did we get here? Why is Rachel Zegler suddenly the face of a cultural backlash no one saw coming? And what happens next? To understand the wreckage, we need to rewind a bit, because this fire didn't start with South Park. Disney lit the fuse a long time ago. Disney's identity crisis, a setup for disasterly. Disney has been acting like a teenager desperate for approval. Every move they make screams, "Please like us," remakes of beloved classics, rewriting character arcs, removing anything remotely controversial, layering modern messages on to century-old fairy tales. It's like watching someone try to remodel a masterpiece using Pinterest hacks. And the results? Well, let's just say the audience has noticed. Movies like Peter Pan and Wendy, Pinocchio, and The Little Mermaid have all faced backlash. But Snow White? That was different. This wasn't just a remake. It was an identity crisis in cinematic form. From casting to plot to tone, Snow White was reimagined into something unrecognizable. And the public? They weren't buying it. The casting controversy. Rachel was set up to fail at start with the obvious. The character of Snow White is literally described as having skin as white as snow. It's in the name. So when Disney cast Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, for the role, the internet exploded. Now, this isn't about race, it's about consistency and intention. Fans weren't upset that a woman of color got a major role. They were upset that Disney made the casting feel like a checkbox, and that feeling that this was all about optics set the tone for everything that followed. Then came the next bombshell: no prince, no romance. The entire love story that defined the original Snow White gone. Disney was on a mission to modernize the fairy tale. But they forgot one thing: fairy tales work because they're timeless. Rachel's PR meltdown trashing the classics. You'd think that when you land an iconic role like Snow White, you'd treat it with a little respect. Not rate. Instead, she called the original story weird. She said the prince was basically a stalker. And in one now infamous interview, she shrugged and said, "I don't need your business." To critics of the film. It was like watching a celebrity do the exact opposite of what every PR coach tells you. Instead of uplifting the legacy of Snow White, Rachel distanced herself from it like it was something to be embarrassed about. She even went as far as to say the new Snow White has no love story at all and that the princess scenes might get cut entirely. Critics were confused. Fans were furious. And the internet? Oh, it was cooking up memes faster than Disney could issue press releases. Enter South Park. The ultimate roast begins, and then came the real firestorm. South Park released Join the Pandaverse, and with it, the most savage roast Hollywood's seen in years. In classic South Park fashion, they transformed their beloved characters into angry, diverse women yelling about the patriarchy, a scathing parody of Hollywood's obsession with performative inclusion. The message? Hollywood's gone from telling great stories to ticking diversity boxes. And guess who ended up front and center? In that roast, Rachel Zegler. They didn't need to name her directly. Her image, her statements, her entire attitude were all baked into the satire. It was brutal, and it was accurate, mocking the new Snow White. Disney's redesign gets torched. Disney's decision to replace the Seven Dwarfs with a CGI group of randomly diverse friends didn't help either. Fans said the new characters looked like they stumbled in from a failed Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Gone were the charm, personality, and quirks. Instead, audiences got bland, forgettable placeholders. South Park couldn't resist. They mocked how studios are gutting beloved classics not out of creativity, but out of fear. Fear of offending, fear of controversy. Ironically, in trying not to offend anyone, Disney ended up offending everyone. The backlash was loud, and it didn't stop. Damage control and desperation backlash hit hard enough that Disney reportedly did reshoots to add the dwarves back in using CGI, but by then, the damage was done. It was clear to fans. This wasn't about storytelling anymore. This was about corporate panic. The contrast with The Little Mermaid remake made it even worse. That film, while controversial, stayed mostly true to its source, Snow White. It wasn't just updated, it was gutted. Disney bet everything on a modern twist, and they lost. Rachel's fall from grace. From start to scapegoaters, the storm intensified. The spotlight turned on Rachel once again. Insiders claimed she was furious. This was supposed to be her breakout moment. She expected awards, praise, applause. Instead, she got MED. Every dismissive interview, every sarcastic quote, every arrogant PR soundbite, it all came back to haunt her. What was supposed to be a celebration became a roast. And at the center of it all, Rachel Zegler now stood alone. South Park isn't done. More fire on the way, and just when things couldn't get worse for Disney, they did. Rumors begin swirling that South Park is working on a brand new Day special set to drop this summer. And yes, it's expected to take direct aim at Snow White, Rachel Zegler, and Disney's ongoing identity crisis. Apparently, they're using the film's box office failure as fuel to go even harder, because let's be real, South Park thrives on drama. And the moment Disney tried to hush the noise, it only poured gasoline on the flames. Just like when they went after Scientology and Tom Cruise, South Park doesn't back down. They doubled down. So if you think Join the Pandaverse was the peak of this saga, you haven't seen anything yet. South Park, the long-running Comedy Central series created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, has never shied away from skewering anyone and anything. Known for its equal opportunity satire, the show regularly targets politicians, celebrities, cultural trends, and whatever's dominating the headlines. So, given the firestorm surrounding Disney's live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs 1937, it was only a matter of time before South Park took in. In recent years, South Park has expanded its reach through a deal with Paramount+, producing a series of special episodes that tackle hot-button issues. These specials have included South Park Post-COVID, South Park Post-COVID, The Return of COVID, South Park, The Streaming Wars, and its sequel, The Streaming Wars Part 2. Now, the next installment is South Park Joining the Pandaverse, a direct jab at the multiverse trend dominating Hollywood. With Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe, Warner Brothers, Discovery's DC Extended Universe, and Sony's Spider-Verse all leaning heavily into multiverse storytelling, the timing couldn't be more pointed, according to the official synopsis. Cartman's deeply disturbing dreams portend the end of the life he knows and loves. The adults in South Park are also wrestling with their own life decisions as the advent of AI is turning their world upside down, but it's the teaser trailer that has fans buzzing. Many believe it's not just a takedown of multiverse mania. It's also a sharp critique of the so-called woke agenda behind Disney's Snow White remake. Hollywood's warning shot, this whole disaster isn't just about one movie, or one actress, or even one roast. It's about a pattern. Hollywood keeps trying to modernize classics, strip them down, sanitize them, repackage them into corporate-safe content, and time after time, the audience is saying the same thing. Stop. We don't hate diversity. We don't hate progress, but we do hate when beloved stories are sacrificed for branding points. If you remove everything that made Snow White, what's left? Just a name, a marketing campaign wearing a fairy tales skin. And Rachel Zegler? She's become the face of this moment not because she's the villain, but because her attitude and actions captured everything fans are tired of. So now, South Park is roasting her. The internet is memming her, and Disney, they're left wondering, where it all went wrong, but we already know if South Park is roasting you. You probably messed up somewhere along the way. So drop your thoughts in the comments below. Did Disney cross the line? Was South Park too harsh? And should Hollywood stop trying to fix what was never broken? Until next time, keep your classics classic, your satire sharp. And remember, when you play with fire, don't act surprised when the whole house burns down. Please subscribe to my channel for more extremely exciting celebrity news.